Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo didn't just promote Wicked, they created one of the strangest celebrity energies we've seen in years.
Not the time, helicopter!
The touching, the whispering, the stares, the are they speaking a private language moments. Now that Wicked Part 2 is out, their dynamic is even weirder. Today we're breaking down 6 different angles of this bizarre connection. The moments that started it, the clips nobody can explain, and the vibes that feel too intimate for co-stars, and why this energy isn't going away. Let's get into it. Ariana and Cynthia's touching wasn't normal, it was constant. From the first press tour to the second film's release, they behaved like they couldn't function unless physically connected. Interviews where Ariana reaches for Cynthia mid-sentence.
So that when you experience the film...
Red carpets where Cynthia holds Ariana's hand before the cameras even start rolling. Moments where Ariana seems to lean in and almost melt into Cynthia's shoulder. And even now, post part 2, behind the scenes footage shows them drifting towards each other automatically, like magnets.
Feel the joy in every scene. So, I wanted to say that.
It's the kind of closeness actors usually drop once their project ends, but they didn't. This level of physical syncing usually only happens in long-term couples or people who've been trauma bonded, and the timeline behind this closeness makes it even stranger. Their weird moments fall into a repeating cycle. Across 2 movies, 2 press tours, and dozens of interviews, the same behaviours keep resurfacing. And it goes like this. A high pressure event happens and their behaviour intensifies. In the Singapore premiere, fan rushes Ariana with Cynthia stepping in. In the London interviews, Cynthia starts speaking for both of them. And in part 2 of the world premiere, with the overwhelming crowd energy, Ariana clings again. Cynthia grounds her physically. It seems that every stressful moment amplifies their closeness instead of breaking it. And when the stress fades, they stay in the same locked-in rhythm. That's not PR choreography. That's bonding under pressure that's carried into the real life. But the real confusion starts when you look at how many people responded. The public isn't confused, they're unsettled. People aren't just observing their dynamic, they feel it. The energy reads as intimate, coded, and sometimes uncanny. Some fans say watching them is like third wheeling a connection you shouldn't be seeing. Others swear Ariana mirrors Cynthia's speech patterns.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Story.
It's little memories.
Her posture and blinking rhythm. And those viral stare clips, the ones where Cynthia looks at Ariana like she's reading her mind. People replayed those thousands of times because they felt charged. Not friendly, not romantic, this is something else. And the whispers, the tiny, almost inaudible conversations between them during interviews.
So that when you experience the film...
sparked entire TikTok channels trying to decode this. Their connection hits a part of the brain wired for pattern recognition, and that makes people obsess. And the media absolutely poured fuel on the obsession. Instead of calming the narrative, the media amplified it. Press outlets realised the Ariana-Cynthia dynamic outperformed every other Wicked headline. Some entertainment sites have framed their closeness as beautiful, while others have called it strange, intense, blurred, and borderline telepathic. Articles have focused less on the film and more on the weird behaviour, the hand placements, the eye contact, body language, who leads who anchors who, and whether Ariana needs Cynthia emotionally. And then obviously the memes arrive. Once the media frames the dynamic as unusual, the public starts seeing every moment through that lens, even the normal ones. But nothing blew up the weirdness more than the details people missed. The strangest parts weren't the public moments, they were the small ones. Clips slowed down by fans revealed tiny behaviours that feel almost ritualistic. Ariana tapping Cynthia's fingers 3 times repeatedly.
Characters, again, develop over the course of this movie. You don't know exactly where they end up. Each of these characters...
Cynthia rubbing circles on Ariana's palm before big entrances. And the way Ariana steps slightly behind Cynthia during a chaotic crowd moment. A rhythmic pattern of leaning in, whispering, hand squeezing that appears in multiple interviews. And in the behind the scenes footage of part 2, there are shots where they move in sync without even looking, like dance partners who've rehearsed for years. None of this resembles typical co-star bonding. It's more like a shared, unspoken language. These micro behaviours are why the internet doesn't just buy, they're just co-workers. The patterns are too consistent and too intimate. And now that both films are out, the biggest question is, the movies are done, but the dynamics isn't. Normally, co-stars drift apart once a franchise ends, but these two, their weirdness is increasing, not fading. Even after the part 2 press tour were wrapped, they were spotted together at events, still walking in sync, still touching, and still whispering. Their interviews now feel even more intimate, possibly because the pressure of selling the film is gone, leaving only whatever real connection they built. Some experts say bonds formed under intense emotional conditions don't dissolve, they evolve. Which means the next phase of their dynamic will look way different. Maybe quieter, maybe deeper, and maybe even stranger. We're entering a stage where they're no longer Gilda and Alphaba, so whatever remains is who they are to each other.
Not the time, helicopter!